Oh, art thou Florian?
Good morning. Welcome to We Are the South Stand, where I am joined by my good friend all the way in sunny Australia. But it's sunnier here, mate. It is what it is.
It's been sunny, actually. The weather's been quite good here for Melbourne at this time of year because we're in deep in autumn, nearly winter now. And it's been, I've got a mate here from Whitefield, and he's been walking every day because he's on holiday.
And because he can. It's Australia. It's a bit safer.
Yeah, and it's a lot safer. And he's been walking around in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, and he's like, he's got, I can't believe it. I said, you're lucky because the weather's not usually like that. But that's going to change this weekend because I'm disappearing to Tasmania, Hobart with him.
Is Tasmania even a place?
Yeah.
I thought it was
it's the island of Australia, right? Down the bottom. And I suppose it's the nearest thing to the Antarctic. It's only an hour flight from here.
It doesn't look that in the cartoons.
No, it's when you got the Tassie Devil and it's hilly. And...
Are they real? So Tasmania is a real place. A Tasmanian Devil's a real thing. Yes. I've got my mate back here going, yes.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah. So I'm going with my parents and my sister live down there. So I'm going to catch up with my parents.
They live in Tasmania?
They moved there 10 years ago.
Have they got a Tasmanian Devil?
No, they've not got one in the garden or anything like that.
That just spins round and wrecks everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not the cartoon character, put it that way.
But it's always funny in Tasmania. While we're on that, I will ask you, because everyone else is asking it. People, get those likes up. Right, who's winning? 1 gorilla or 100 men?
No idea.
Well, fair enough. Well, that was shit.
That was shit. Yes, it was.
Have you seen that debate online? Who would win? Have you not seen it?
No.
That tells me that your Twitter is solely devoted to Manchester City, and your algorithms are not interested in showing you anything but Manchester City.
My Twitter account, I only look at the things to do with Man City and when Man United or Arsenal get beat, which is hilarious.
Actually, yeah, I mean, we can talk on that. Don't want to spend too much time talking on a rival club, but did you watch the game last night?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I just laughed. I spent the whole time laughing because PSG, in my eyes, and I said this before the last round, and basically knew that they would win it. I think since Enrique's got rid of all the big stars, and he's got a team. They look a better outfit now because they've actually got a team rather than individuals. So,
yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, they look a good side, very good side.
Oh, do you know what? This is one of the best answers. Stoops, hear this. Someone just said 100 men would obviously win. The gorilla would feel cornered and have a heart attack. Would that happen?
If we're adding factual stuff to it, probably.
Yeah, that's probably the most factual, sensible answer I've seen.
But it's not a factual, sensible question.
Yeah, it's not a factual, sensible question. But I actually think that's probably what would happen if there were 100 humans looking like, right, we're about to F you up.
20 humans charged at gorilla.
Yeah.
Would be shook.
Yeah. That's a good answer, you know. Fucking hell. I always thought you were thick, but you're pretty fucking clever, aren't you? And that's not LB, by the way. Right. So do you know what? One thing I'll comment on the Arsenal game. So when I watched the first leg against Real Madrid, I had to give massive credit to the Arsenal fans that were at the ground.
Yeah.
And I had to give massive credit to the team as well. And it proper reminded me of when we beat Real Madrid 4-0, right? Not only the performance on the pitch, but the performance from the fans. You could tell the fans were up for it, yeah? And the fans got... And to be fair, from our point of view, we were the same against Bayern that season as well, right? It was just the Etihad was rocking in Europe that season. Yesterday, to me, I've got to go the opposite way. Arsenal's fans were absolutely shocking, and it felt to me a little bit like, well, we've beat Real Madrid, so like, oh, Like, yeah,
the thing is, when they won that game against Real Madrid, they sounded like Liverpool fans when they thought they were entitled to win everything. When we all know you can't go around thinking that.
Nah, you can't. And that, do you know what? That's what Steve was on a show with. I think it was on Big Six, and he said it's great. Like, he was giving them nothing but credit, and he goes, "But now you have to go and get the job done, right? Otherwise, ultimately, a win against Real Madrid is great, but it's irrelevant." And someone goes, "No, we don't. No, we don't." And it's like, no, you really fucking do. Otherwise, last night was worth absolutely nothing. If you can't go and win the tournament, then beating Real Madrid's great, but fucking hell, like, we've beat Real Madrid in group stages, I'm pretty certain, before, have we? We might not have, to be fair. I might have just made that up. But either way, if you're not going to win the tournament, saying, well, at least we beat Madrid over 2 legs, it means absolutely nothing.
Correct.
Absolutely nothing. But look, they can still. I think PSG could have actually killed the game off at a couple of points in that second half.
Well, let's hope they can kill them off at PSG when they play. You know, at the end of the day, they've got an away win. Away goals don't count double anymore, so it's about what they do when they go home.
Bro, last night I was just thinking, why is that away goal rule not still in place?
I know. I know. I agree. Yeah, you just want that, don't you? Just to see the massive meltdown that will happen if they get beat. It'll be huge.
So there's not too much transfer news to talk on. Just a quick one on this. Daniel saying, what's your opinion on Kuzanov not playing recently after such a positive start?
Has he been carrying an injury?
No, he's not. He's not. My opinion is that Nico O'Reilly moved to the left and has become undroppable.
Yeah.
Gvardiol and Diaz as a partnership, in my opinion, has been undroppable, right? It's working. We've conceded. If you go and look at the number of goals we're conceding throughout this season, then look at the number of goals we've conceded over the last, 7-8 games. And I also think Pep made it clear when Kuzanov joined, or probably about a month ago, he said the plan with Kuzanov was never for him to be thrown straight in the deep end, but we had to because of injuries. I think Kuzanov at the moment is probably like most City players when they join us. He's spending time on the training pitch. He's only young. He doesn't speak a word of English. And I think they're just getting him used. I think next season we'll see a lot of Kuzanov. In the summer we'll see a lot of him. Everyone just needs to stop worrying on it. Like, he will get game time. We know he will get game time. I'm not worried about it at all. And by the way, it's important that City are posting pictures from the training pitch. He's looking happy. I was going to actually put one on the thumbnail of him smiling away. I might do that tomorrow just to stop all the concern. I'm not worried, man.
The other day, he's a young lad. He's living in a strange place.
Yeah.
Doesn't speak any language. He needs to settle in life in England, doesn't he? Let's be honest, in Manchester.
Yeah.
You know. So
and that is a thing. It really is a thing. I think people always downplay this when, even more so with younger lads, when they come over, I think. And do you know what? It's probably a case of, although some people settle differently, I think City probably have it as a bit of a, if you bring over young lads, give them time to settle, right?
Yes.
Like, literally, not even, they probably do monitor it, but it's, look, we have to, because that is important. If they don't settle in, then... And do you know what? I was thinking this the other day. I actually think with Gvardiol, one of the key things about Gvardiol since he arrived was the fact that Kovacic arrived at the same time.
Yeah.
So Gvardiol, because Gvardiol was still quite young when he joined us, I think he was 21, right? But he's had Kovacic there round him the whole time.
Correct.
So
correct.
I think that's probably
I remember when I moved from Manchester to Melbourne here, the first 2 years, and I was 40 at the time. My first 2 years, I was very wobbly.
What was that, a year ago?
No, I wish he was. I wish he was, unfortunately. But it takes time. It really does. And if you don't speak the lingo, it's even longer. And he's a young lad.
Agreed.
Good luck to him. Good luck. Hope it works out for him.
Yeah, it will. It will do. It will do. 82 in here. Let's get those likes up, please, people. What are the likes on? The likes are on 52. Not bad. They can be a lot higher, though, because, like I said, there's 80 of you. So please get those likes up. Right. Before we get into that, there is, by the way, I don't want to. In fact, no. We will. One more time with Alan. one more time with Alan, I will speak on. Someone's just mentioned him in the chat, but honestly, it has to be the last time we speak about that guy on this channel. Then we'll move on. But first, before we talk about that, Alan, Wembley. I was at the game, so I didn't see him. And by the way, Wembley, sort out your network. It's absolutely shocking. My phone wasn't working until I got about a mile away from the ground. But I'm just going back quickly to see what I got off of you. So the game kicked off at 4:30.
Yeah.
At 5:30, I got 2 casual.
Yep.
4 minutes later, I got get in.
Yeah, I know. So we scored. Right. The first one, I thought first half, I thought we played the most controlled football we've played all season.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree.
Right. I wouldn't say it was dynamic. I would say it was the most controlled football. Okay.
Yeah.
Kept the ball. We didn't give it away. We looked like we were positive, and it was good. Second half, they made a change, and I thought at times we were too casual with the ball.
Yeah.
And we gave the ball away.
In the second half?
Yeah, second half. And I thought we gave the ball away too many times in crucial areas of the pitch. And they counted on us and caused us problems. Let's face it, they hit the woodwork 3 times, right?
Yeah.
You know, they could have very easily gone. And if we were 2-0 up and then conceded, it was game on.
Right? Oh, 100%. If they would have got one, I tell you what, if they would have got that Alanga chance in the opening minute of the second half, completely game on. I wouldn't disagree.
It would have been completely game on. I thought we were fortunate in the second half to get the result we needed, but on the first half basis, that's best control football I've seen us play this season.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't disagree. I've been saying it for the longest. Rico Lewis, the best of Rico Lewis is in an advanced role, and I'm standing by that even more so now. I'm not saying Rico Lewis is good enough to play in an advanced role for City week in, week out. But I think Rico has kind of reminded us that if he was good enough to be a squad player in the treble season, good enough to be a squad player last season, I still think Rico Lewis is good enough to be a squad player.
Yeah.
Whether he's good enough to be, whether that'll fulfill his dreams, whether eventually we'll need a move, but yeah, no. Do you know what I thought? I thought we were really, really, really good in the first half. I thought Kovacic was quality. I think Gvardiol and Diaz were mint at the back. I think Diaz was really good first half, maybe, and second half, to be fair. But do you know what? Let's speak on him. Come on, then. It was only a matter of time till he got brought up. Hold tight, Martin. Martin is here. Do you know what Martin called me yesterday?
Go on.
So I was basically saying that kind of Morgan Gibbs-White is English, so domestic. He's homegrown, right?
Yep.
So I feel like, because there are definitely players out there that are better than Morgan Gibbs-White, right? Globally, right? But Morgan Gibbs-White hits the homegrown quota.
Correct.
However, I said, if we really think about this, that's exactly what he pretty much called me, a Morgan Gibbs-White hater. But we'll come on to this. I said, if we think we're going to get about 30 million for Jack Grealish, right? We think we're going to get about 30 million for McAtee, yeah? They're 2 English players that leave and hit the English quota. So therefore, we need to bring another English player in to hit the quota. So, but if we're selling them for 30 million, right, do we really want to put at least an extra 50 million down to bring Morgan Gibbs-White in? And I was just saying, it doesn't make sense to me. I actually would rather Grealish in the 10 or Grealish in the 8 than I would Morgan Gibbs-White. Right? I'm
going to say something to you.
Now, hold on. I got called by Martin cruel. He said, "You're cruel for saying that. That's cruel. He actually said, we defend our players and give them a year. And I said, we haven't even signed him yet. He's not our player. It's not cruel. I'm just questioning it."
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I've sat and thought about it. Yeah, Morgan Gibbs-White is a good footballer, right?
Yeah, good.
He's a good footballer. He's potentially very good. I can't tell him one game, I'll be honest with you. But if you gave me a choice between Grealish and Morgan Gibbs-White, I will take Grealish all day long.
But then even more so, even if you were to put them on a similar level, you're paying an extra 50 million more, right? You're selling a player on the cheap. Yeah. And by the way, I do get that Morgan Gibbs-White will be on less wages, but don't get it twisted. Morgan Gibbs-White is not going to come in for 80 grand a week. Morgan Gibbs-White is going to be demanding a fair whack as well, because he knows he's, homegrown. So he's going to be demanding it. And I just think
it's hard to say. It's hard to say. If Forest, let's say, make top 5 and get Champions League, I don't think Forest will sell him.
And this is where I've just plucked out the sky 80 million, right? If Forest get Champions League football, they're not going to want 80 million for him. They're going to want probably 100 million for him. They'll say, do you know what? If you're getting... And that's my whole thing. When you say Morgan Gibbs-White is a good player, I do not disagree. I think Morgan Gibbs-White is a good player, but I don't think he's worth the money that is being... And that's where I am looking at it. I'm thinking, okay, I'm convinced this must have something to do with homegrown quota. So I'm looking at the players that are causing the issue, the players that we're going to get rid of. And I'm thinking, well, I'd probably rather them than Morgan Gibbs-White. I do get Morgan Gibbs-White maybe has an engine, and maybe could be a bit more of an engine. But again, we don't know that. You could say, we don't know that. It is a risk. And I'm just thinking, a summer where we need to get it right, a summer where we're going to need to spend a lot of money, spending ultimately an extra 50 million, it just seems a bit of a risk for me.
Well, the way I look at it is this. I'm just glad it's not our choice. It's going to be Pep's and the new sporting director's choice. I think the owner of Notts Forest will lift his price that high. It'll be unattainable anyway. He's a good footballer.
Yeah, he is a good footballer.
What City do with Grealish, I'm not sure at the moment, because when I see him playing centrally, he's a better player than he really plays left.
And that's another thing I would say as well. Like that, again, we don't know. And Martin, I do hear what you're saying about we don't know what he's going to be like. I do get that 100%. And like I said, by the way, if we sign Morgan Gibbs-White, I'm not as worried as when we signed Calvin Phillips, because I was never a Calvin Phillips fan. I was worried as hell when we signed him. I thought, why is he coming in? I think his mentality must be shit because he's never dethroning Rodri.
Do you know my opinion on Phillips? Whilst it's been a mistake to get him, at the time I was like, okay, all right, he's done it for England. He's done quite well for India, for Leeds. I don't think he's intelligent enough to know what he needs to do off the ball and where he needs to be under a Pep system.
Yeah,
Pep likes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Pep likes intelligent footballers that can play in different types of positions.
Oh, that's mad. Oh, sorry, that's mad. Are we calling Jack Grealish intelligent?
Well, the thing is, he's got more intelligence than Philip. Unfortunately, he's struggled with it now, and then he's got on a big depression sort of scenario. And hopefully, for the lad, he can go back to Leeds and play football.
Yeah.
So I'll be pleased.
Yeah, well, now they've been promoted.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully, he can get a transfer and go there.
Well, how much should we get for Calvin Phillips?
Not a lot. The thing is, for the lad's sake, we need to get him off the pay structure, and we need to get him play. For his sake, he needs to be playing football. So I hope he goes back to Leeds, and I hope he feels more at home, which would be good.
Can I just say, Martin, I think this is really cruel from you, and you need to back our players more.
Yeah, I think Martin has got an agenda like he always has, and denies every single time he's got an agenda. And I'm on the Mancunian way later. So.
What time are you on the Mancunian way? While I take this call.
Well, supposed to be another 35 minutes, 8 o'clock-ish. So, is he on the phone to now? Are you on the phone to Martin?
No. I'm going shopping afterwards, and my mate just ran me to see what time I'm picking him up. So.
Oh, right, going shop. Very nice.
Nice weather, car clean.
What
Gotta go
I
shopping.
will say is your Instagram has got the most colourful clothes I've ever seen. You know, you should be over here, but there we go.
Someone called me the other day, Dapperdills.
That was
Pat.
oh,
It was Pat, wasn't it? It was Pat.
Patrick. It was Patrick. Yeah.
I'm so listen. Do you know what? Right. So we're in the green. We're in the Green Man on Saturday.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
And with Steve and a few others, and there's some younger lads from Manchester behind us, and we're talking, and one of them goes, "Hey, you can't be City. Listen to your voice." And I obviously I've had it once or twice, so I go to him. Well, to be fair, I don't really get it at games anymore because most people know my face, right? But this lad goes, "You can't be City. Listen to your voice." I go, "I'm not. I'm Chelsea." And he goes, "What?" and I go, I'm a Chelsea rent boy, you know what? And he goes, he looked at Steve. He goes, "Is he having a laugh?" And Steve goes, "Ignore him." I go, "No." He goes, "Of course he's City." And I go, No, I'm Chelsea, innit?" And he goes, "Are you mucking about?" I go, "Well, I am Chelsea now. I was Liverpool for a bit, but then when they dropped off, I switched to Chelsea now." And then he goes, "What?" I go, "A soft spot for Arsenal." And he's there going, and then he goes, and Steve's going to the lad, "Ignore him. He's chatting shit. Of course he's fucking City. Have you not seen him with me before? Why do you think he's in it?" And then I just go, "Nah, I'm not really." He goes, "Fucking hell, I'll go on police."
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Some people are so dumb.
I'm in the middle of the Green Man. What do you think? Were you there, Mike, when I said it? He proper was confused, wasn't he? Right, so let's move on from that. I've seen this morning. In fact, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to say who told me or anything, but I've heard that the Cambiaso deal is there's a lot of agreements in place. I think City Extra have tweeted this morning as well that Juventus are willing to lower their asking price as well, because I think in January they wanted, I think, 65, 70 million for him because they wanted him. They said, "Look, we want him for the Club World Cup. If you want him before then, you're going to have to pay an extra." I believe something has now been agreed where we are going to get him earlier. We are going to wait until after the Club World Cup, but we're going to pay less. So from what I've been told, we will be getting him as long as we decide we don't want him. So I'm happy with that. You?
As long as he doesn't get injured, yeah.
That's the only thing with him, injuries. But I think that's a risk with anyone, right?
Yeah.
50 million. I reckon round about 50 million, which, do you know what? It's what we pay for fullbacks, isn't it? We always pay 50 million for fullbacks. It just seems to be.
The thing is, I heard on the grapevine, because I know some people at City, they'd said that the Cambiaso deal was done on a few conditions, and it wouldn't happen until the summertime, which is fine. I'm happy with that. That's why I was so shocked when they let Walker go in January. I thought, oh, good, we haven't got anybody, and they shoved Nunes in there, who made a few mistakes at the start. But to be fair to Nunes, in the last 4 weeks, he's performed. And even me, I can't argue with that. He has.
Do you know what? He has. Do you know what? I think on the Kyle Walker thing, right? Because if you look at it, I'm pretty certain that just before it happened, something was being announced that Kyle Walker's missus was putting in, basically, she wanted a divorce and she wanted shitloads of money. And then all of a sudden he's leaving. And since then, that got dropped. I personally think when us men do something wrong, sometimes we get held to ultimatums. Like, all right, I'll give you one last chance, but we need to get out of England. We need to get out of Manchester and start afresh. And I think he got hit with one of them. And if you think about it, Walker hasn't really spoke too much about the situation at City, right? Considering how much Kyle Walker usually talks, he hasn't really said much, because I think he probably
he's done the right thing by leaving England for the time being.
Yeah, and I think he probably went to Pep and said, this is what it is," and Pep said, "Okay, you have to go." Simple as that. So,
his life was his personal life was a mess, and it was. So,
Jess, I wonder why women never get ultimatums. Yeah, because you lot never do anything wrong. Do you know what?
Well, great answer. Great answer. That's quality. That's brilliant.
What grapevine? Oh. Oh, is your connection Martin? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Martin's just announcing that he's an ITK. There we go. So anyone, listen, if you ever need to know any transfer rumours, go to Martin, Mancunian Way, yeah? The best place to be for transfer news, because Martin is officially now an ITK.
Yeah, but he thinks he is. He thinks he is.
Well, he is. Listen, if Cambiaso comes through, he is. He's proven it. Proof is in the pudding.
When the KKK was supposedly available, Koulibaly, right? Koulibaly.
Hold on, did you just call him KKK?
Yeah, Koulibaly, when he was available, Martin was chasing him round his estate. He's coming, and he didn't. And we were all calling him, and he totally denies it. Totally denies it.
Why KKK? Is that?
I was just me calling him that. Don't worry. No agenda. No. So, mate, when Messi was so-called possibly coming, mate, it was like
I hated that summer. I hated that summer. I despised that summer because I'm pretty certain we needed a centre-back so badly, right?
Oh, no.
And we were chasing Messi the whole time. It's like, no, drop that and go and get us a fucking centre-back, please. Right, let's talk on Wirtz. Alan isn't talking to you anymore, Daps. Why aren't you talking to me, Alan?
I'm talking to Pat. Of course I am.
No, it says Alan isn't talking to you anymore, Daps.
I am.
Maybe he means Martin isn't, because I always call Alan Martin and Martin Alan.
Yeah, no. Listen, I'm better looking than Martin.
I mean, we could do a poll. Mine's got lovely eyes, though, to be fair. He's got beautiful eyes. He has. Stare into them for days. I really shouldn't say that wearing a pink flowery shirt, should I? Right. Let's talk Wirtz. I don't know if anyone else has seen any more, but yesterday, obviously, it came out that apparently, and it came out from maybe a not too reliable source, that Wirtz has agreed personal terms with Bayern Munich.
But that means nothing these days.
Absolutely nothing. I totally agree with you. I believe Leverkusen have come out and said that's complete nonsense as well. I'm not too sure about this guy at all. The person. He's not a tier 1, is he? He's not Ornstein. But furthermore, I'm not an agent. I haven't been in the room, but when clubs are after a player, they do speak with, maybe not them directly, but they speak to their agent and they give proposals, right?
Yep.
And he currently plays for Bayer Leverkusen.
Yep.
So, and by the way, this is not at this point, that's not negotiations. It's just saying this is the type of deal we would offer you, right?
Yeah, correct.
So I would imagine that Bayern Munich, Manchester City, Real Madrid, if Arsenal were in it, Arsenal would all offer terms that would be better than Bayern Leverkusen's terms currently on, right?
Yeah.
So he would probably say, yeah, that looks about right to all of them. I really don't think, and furthermore,
I'll be completely honest with you, right? What I don't want Manchester City Football Club to do is spend all summer like they did last year.
No, we have to get it done early doors. We have to get that one done early doors.
Literally offer him at the start. If he turns around and starts ooh-and-ahhing or playing games, time to piss off.
Yeah. And I'm not saying he's going Arsenal. I was just using examples saying any club pretty much that go in for him, are probably going to offer better terms than he's currently on, right?
Yeah, correct.
But then what will happen is that he won't get to fully negotiate with any of them, really, until a deal is struck with Bayer Leverkusen.
Well, this is it. Bayer Leverkusen don't want to do business with with a club in Germany, which.
No.
So, but I can also understand him wanting him to go there as well. Company's won the league. Vinny's won the league, and I'm pleased he's won it. But at the end of the day, it'll be his choice where he goes. But we don't want to enter a Dutch auction for him.
No, I agree with you on that. I would get it dragged out. But to be honest with you, here's one good thing. I don't think Bayern Munich want to be. Bayern Munich do not do that, right? We know how Bayern Munich do business. They walk in and they get it done. So if Bayern Munich are going to get Wirtz, yeah, it will just all of a sudden we'll wake up one morning and Bayern Munich has joined. Sorry, Wirtz has joined Bayern Munich. They do their business very well. Yeah.
What I want is I want the club to have a list of alternatives, right?
Yeah.
So they can don't have to dwell on one person for too long. They can make arrangements to go after somebody else. Yeah. You know, I know people want him. I'd like him, obviously. Yep. But at the end of the day, it might not be possible. And we have to accept that.
I think at this point, right, from what I am seeing at this point, it is possible. Yeah. I do understand that. I think there's an element of, if you look at when Germany were at their best, and probably when you look at when Bayern were at their best, a lot of Germany's team were Bayern players and a lot of Bayern's team were German players, right? And I do think they probably want to get back to that because, you know, Bayern have dropped off a little bit to when they were at their best. But, and I've said this from pretty much the start, when we really want a player, we know how to really turn it on, right? We know how to go all out. You know, when there's that one bird that you really, really fancy and you make more effort, you go that extra mile. I think we've done that. We did it with Haaland. We did it with De Bruyne. We are at a point right now where I do believe, and do you know what? I just started this. What would be your most preferred alternative to Wirtz, right? I will answer that in a minute, but I think at this point, my preferred option and possibly City's preferred option, if we don't get Wirtz, is so far away from the level of Wirtz that I think the club will go all out, right? And he's already said he's very impressed with how Pep has approached him, right? We know that Bayer Leverkusen have been over to Manchester City's campus, right? We know that. And although I said, it could be to do with Alonso, it wasn't. It was to do with Wirtz, McAtee, and Ortega, And that is the key thing. And that's where, when we would I like to keep McAtee? Yes, I would, right? Would I like to keep Ortega as a backup if he wanted to stay? And by the way, with both of them, it's if they wanted to stay. Yes, I would. However, if we have to sacrifice those two players to get Wirtz in, that is our trump card. Because right now, from what I've been told, Leverkusen don't want any of Bayern's players, right? They want two of our players. They don't want to sell to a German team. So even if Wirtz wants to go to Bayern Munich, he's under contract. If Leverkusen do not want to sell to Bayern Munich and they want two of our players, we are in a very, very, very good position, right? Very good position. Because Leverkusen can go, we'll sell to you, because we know if we sell Wirtz to you, we're going to be quids in, right? And also we're going to have a keeper that we need and a basically a Wirtz replacement instantly, So I think we're in a really, really, really good place at this point. I still think we get him. I do. I think we get him.
Well, I hope so. But please, don't let it drag on past 2 weeks.
I don't think it will. I don't think it will.
Because if it does, I don't want him doing a Bellingham and play us big time, because he played.
Right, actually, and people in the chat, you get involved in this, because I've heard a few people sometimes throw our name into this Bellingham mixer, right? And obviously, I'm not like on all the websites all the time checking for transfer news. I am a bit more now that we're doing the shows every 2 days. But back then I was doing Never a Foul, where I just turn up because Cassie's sorting everything, right? I remember, like, we kind of were linked with Bellingham a little bit, but we were not doing a Liverpool for Bellingham, right? Yeah. It was Liverpool that were fucking obsessed with him, right?
Yeah.
With us, it was a bit of a, We'd like Bellingham, but and correct me if I'm wrong, but we weren't fully involved in that Bellingham mix, were we? Yeah, that's what I thought. Everyone told us he's a Scouser. His dad supports Liverpool, and we were just. I always felt with Bellingham that we were a name that were just thrown in there to probably try and boost the price and boost the wages. I never really thought we were that in for him.
He played us. He used us to get more money. That's what he did.
Bro, like Ronaldo did.
Yep.
We were never getting Ronaldo, bro. Like, and I will stand and have this argument with anyone. Ronaldo's agent was fucking Bernardo Silva's agent. At that point, the summer that Ronaldo was linked to come back to Manchester City, Bernardo Silva, and I remember reading that Mendes was over in Manchester to have a chat with Manchester City about the future of Bernardo Silva, right?
Yeah.
Next day, all of a sudden, City interested in Ronaldo. And I guarantee you what would have happened is Ronaldo went, because Ronaldo had decided he wanted out of Juventus, right? But Man United were not interested in him, right? And at that point, Ronaldo, because Saudi weren't about at that point neither. So I think Mendes said, yeah, watch this. Went into City and said to Manchester City, while he's talking about Bernardo Silva, oh, by the way, you know what? Ronaldo wants to leave. These are the type of numbers that he'd want. And Ticky's gone, all right, cool. I'll have a chat and we'll come back to you on it. Literally, that is probably as far as the conversation went. Mendes has gone out, leaked to an agent. Yeah, City are interested.
And United meltdown.
And United instantly, Rio Ferdinand's there going, we can't let this happen. United went full in. He played United an absolute treat because Pep's come out and said, because I think someone asked him once and said, would you take Ronaldo? He said, it never even got as far as them having a conversation with me. Because it was one day he was here talking Bernardo Silva, his agent. Next day, apparently we're linked with him. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of that happens. And I personally, right, if I look at the person that leaked the Wirtz agreed personal terms with Bayern Munich, right? He's the same person that not long before tweeted that Manchester City are interested in, is it Sarr or the Galatasaray player?
Yeah.
Right? So, do we not think it's a bit of a coincidence there that maybe it's someone, maybe that Galatasaray player's agent, has gone and dropped that source some dough and said, say that Wirtz has agreed personal terms with X and put City in with our player. I don't know. When I see that's it, Gabriel Sarra. I do think a lot of shit happens with journalists where they're getting backhanders from agents. I really do think that. Martin's saying 100% in. We was in for Bellingham, Joshua. 100%. Ours was public like Liverpool. I don't doubt we wanted Bellingham, but I don't think we got dragged into it. Like, come on, bro, Liverpool were. I don't think we were going all out for him. It's a bit like Declan Rice. We wanted Declan Rice, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, I wish we got Declan Rice. I think Declan Rice is a great player. I think he would. And actually, this season with Rodri out, Declan Rice would have come in. But I think this is the thing. We wanted Declan Rice. We didn't at that point need Declan Rice. That's why when Arsenal came in and offered a bit more, City just go, all right, no problem. Turned around, walked away. I think with Wirtz, we want him that bit more. And I think we'll keep going with Wirtz. But I do agree with you. We can't spend the whole summer. We can't. Like,
Means the first 2 weeks, if he doesn't sign, walk away.
Right. Everyone in the chat, I'm going to say a name. Once I remember his fucking name. Fucking hell, his name's gone off my... Right. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Is it Thingy?
No, it's not him. I'm not speaking on... You're not going to say Morgan Gibbs-White, are you?
No. Is it Thingy?
What's his name? He played...
Is he midfielder?
Yeah. He played against fucking United the other week.
In Europe?
Yeah. Come on, we'll get him for dirt cheap. Played against Man United the other week. There we go.
Leon,
Cherky.
Yeah, midfield.
If we didn't get
midfield,
Wirtz, I'd take Cherky. 100% I would. Looks like a mint player for me. I'd be pissed off if United get him. I'm not gonna sit here and, you know what? If he does go to United, then I hope to God that he is a shithouse and he does cause shit in the background. But me, I'd take a risk on it for what, 25, 30 million. If we found out that Wirtz, we found out right now that Wirtz doesn't want to go, like, wants Bayern and doesn't want to come to City, I'm telling you, I'm going in for Cherky, throwing 25, 30 million down. And I know the links are that he's going to Man United. I'm not being funny, but if Man City come in for you right now, yeah, you're going Man City over Man United. I don't care what anyone says. So I'd take Cherky all day long. And Deans, you know what? Oh, Alan's gone. And now Alan's back. I'd get him just because of that. Yeah. I'd literally, even if we were getting fucking Wirtz, I'd still go and get Cherky to stop him going Man United, because I actually rate him. I think he's a good player.
I'm struggling to name in Europe or the world good alternatives to Wirtz. I'm struggling. Aren't you?
Oh, I said Cherky. For me, Cherky at 30 million. And I do hear what you're saying. This is what we've been told. We've been told that Cherky is a clubhouse cancer and his family agents are a mare to deal with. I hear it. I'll take the risk on 30 million. I'll take the risk on 30 million. It's 30 million. We're talking about spending. Sorry, if we're talking about spending fucking 80 million on Morgan Gibbs White, and by the way, if they get Champions League football, I'm certain it'll be more than 80 million. Cherky, 30 million. I'll take that risk. I'll take the risk.
Mate, if he gets Champions League football, Morgan Gibbs White, he ain't leaving for us. I'm telling you straight.
I hear it. I do hear it. Right. So this one, I need to go and look at this Reinders, because all I hear is great stuff about him. So I'm going to go at some point when I get a minute. I'm going to go and have a little look into him. Xavi Simons, I'm not too sold on.
No.
I think Cherky's better than Xavi Simons for me. Really not sold on him. And look, again, I'm not going to act like I've watched him week in, week out, but I've watched him for Holland a fair bit. And he's good. Really don't. He's not Wirtz. He's nowhere near Wirtz level. Yeah, I don't know. Of the three, to be honest
with you, it's very difficult after Wirtz who you can go and pick.
Yeah.
Because there's not many world-class midfielders out there that would be available. That's the problem.
Yeah, agreed. There aren't. At this point, there aren't. And this is the problem, that we are looking at ultimately a KDB replacement. And what it has to be for me, it has to be someone that looks for the pass first. This is where I'm a little bit like, correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I don't watch Musiala week in, week out, right? But from what I see of Musiala is more of a dribbler. Yeah. More of a, right. For me, we've got that. I think we need someone that looks for the pass. I think that's the biggest issue we've got at the moment.
It's a playmaker.
Yeah.
I would tend to look for players similar to David Silva, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, that's fucking difficult, isn't it?
Well, he was a playmaker, wasn't he?
Yeah. But I even then, yes, I agree with you. We do. But if we're talking playmakers, actually, right, different player, different position, but I still think it's not even a playmaker, because I always, when people say David Silva, then it went to De Bruyne, totally different players, right? David Silva was someone. Yeah, David Silva. I see David Silva as a tempo setter. David Silva decided when that game sped up, and David Silva decided when that game slowed down. He literally controlled the whole pace of the game, right? That's why
I think David Silva is the best ever City player.
Yeah, agreed. But this is where we were. Do you know what, people? Just stop for a second and think about this. Do you know at one point we had David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Yaya Toure, and Fernandinho as a midfield, right?
I know. Yeah.
And furthermore, do you know why I hate this so much? We didn't win the fucking Champions League with them four in midfield.
I know.
How is that possible?
I know.
When you look at that, Fernandinho for me, and there's quite a few people at the Green Man on Friday, Fernandinho for me is one of City's most underrated players of all time. And we rate him highly, but fuck me, I rate him so highly. Unbelievable. Then you've got Yaya, an absolute engine. Then you've got Silva, an engine in a fucking unit who can score from anywhere. Yeah. Then you've got David Silva, who completely controls the pace of the game. And then you've got De Bruyne in his prime, the pass master, the creator.
Yeah.
That midfield. But I actually think I think Rodri boom. Spot on. Rodri sets the tone. This is it. Rodri is a bit different to David Silva, but he can set the pace, kind of the pace a bit like David Silva. We need somebody who looks up and looks for a pass. We needed, and that's where I think Wirtz comes in a bit like De Bruyne. He's not De Bruyne, but
absolutely.
And if
it's a difficult one to choose because I'm still 50-50 on Wirtz about whether he'll come or not. And I think the club needs to look elsewhere. I really do, because it's not signed and died that Wirtz is going to come. I think everyone has got to accept that.
What? Say that again.
It's not signed and died for that Wirtz is going to come.
It's not. No, of course it isn't. It's not. I still think. Hold on. Hold on. Have you seen this yet? Actually, sorry, people. I know I'm playing this a lot, but I fucking love it. LB is goated.
Florian. Oh, art thou Florian? I believe you're looking for a new football club, my mate. Hey, England, Manchester, Etihad, this Stad will be playing Champions League football next year, my friend. Yeah, how about you take a little 2-2 Ryanair jet from Leverkusen over to Manchester. We'll get you a nice hotel stay. Little 2-2 medical, £300,000 a week. Couple bonuses thrown in there. 2-2 Ballon d'Or in a couple years. Champions League. Happy days. You want to go Bayern Munich. Little 2032 Bayern Munich driller. Happy days. We get the next up and coming star. Hey, how about it, Florian? Florian. How art thou, Florian? Smash the likes up, man. Come on. I'm fucking seshed off my head.
Mate, it's the fact he's even flicking the lights on and off and that.
Oh, mate, what is he like?
And it's when he goes Etihad to Stad. What? All right, Florian, my mate.
He's
fucking brilliant. No, we have to get Florian. Simple as that. Right, let's move on from Florian. Abysmal lighting, yeah. Right, let's move on. I want to have a conversation just quickly about Gvardiol. Is Gvardiol our best defender at the club at the moment?
He is when he plays centre half.
Is Gvardiol our player of the season?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Is a contender? Is a contender?
Oh, he's a big contender for me. You know, I think.
Who else would you put in the frame?
Kovacic and Haaland.
That's what I would say. Kovacic, definitely. I think you're quite right about that.
I do think Haaland. And do you know what? Here's a really good thing to say on Haaland, that for 2 seasons we have had, the minute any other player scores a few goals, right, then we get. Yeah, but Haaland's only scoring those goals because he's in a dysfunctional. Because he's in a fully functional City team with all these players around him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. And what about this season, right? What about this season? You can't use that excuse this season because Haaland still bagged goals, yeah? And all right, I get it. He hasn't bagged goals like the previous 2 seasons, but he has still bagged goals in a completely dysfunctional Manchester City team. I think he's been injured for probably, 6-7 weeks as well in total. I think Haaland is a shout. I don't think he wins it. For me, I think Gvardiol should be nailed on for player of the season. Do you know what?
Gvardiol and Kovacic, without any doubt.
I think O'Reilly will win Young Player of the Season if we do one. Don't know if we do or not. O'Reilly changed the season. He's changed the back four. Most important player this season. 100%. I don't disagree with it. And I've been pushing that. If O'Reilly I hear you. I do hear O'Reilly for me, is a very honourable mention. And I wouldn't be mad if O'Reilly actually was in the conversation. But for me,
I've just seen Martin's coming. Do me a favour, mine.
he's been one of our better players. I don't disagree with him. He has been one of our better players.
In the last 4 weeks, he has. I agree. But before that, nah.
And saying this, our attack was never the problem this season, bro. Creativity-wise, it has been a problem this season.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Bro, it has been. Come on, man. Kevin De Bruyne has not been cooking, right? Creativity-wise, attacking, we have been a problem. Doku can't link up with Haaland for shit, right? And it's Savio became obsessed with shooting. It has been a problem this season. We have also been leaking goals, and our midfield was leaking shit. But for me, I think it's a no-brainer, right? That Gvardiol should be in there, you know. I think Gvardiol should win Player of the Season for me. I think the more I think about it, I think Kovacic has been good, but Gvardiol, even if you go back to times where Gvardiol was saving us with last-minute goals and that, I think Gvardiol's nailed on to win Player of the Season in his second season at Manchester City. And here's the thing now. He looks happier now.
Yeah.
He looks happy playing as a centre-back. I think he's our best centre. I think Gvardiol, for me, based on the last 2 seasons, since he's joined the club, I think Gvardiol's our best defender.
Yeah.
I do. I think he should win Player of the Season. The more I think about it as well, you know. All right, next one. How good can Nico be?
Nico Gonzalez.
O'Reilly.
Good. Whether he stays at fullback or not, I don't know.
What would you do with him?
Well, at the moment, he's playing fullback and he's inverting into midfield, isn't he? And it looks quite good. I think he's a strong, tall guy who's going to get stronger and more powerful.
Yeah.
I think eventually he'll end up in midfield.
You think he will? Do you think he and all right, defensive or in more of a 8, 10?
In an 8 role.
In an 8 role.
Yeah.
Box to box type thing, Yaya type vibes.
Yeah.
I can see that as well. Long term.
Yeah.
Long term. Do you know what?
He's going to get stronger.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. For someone so slim, he's already strong, right? He's already strong. Yeah. We saw it against Villa, the way he burst through those plays. He's going to bulk, right? He will bulk. Ruben will probably have him in the gym as well, right? I agree. I wouldn't switch him to midfield right now. I don't think we should rush it. I think we put him in midfield right now, yeah. He might drown. Yeah, he might. I think at the moment...
I think he's got the best coach possible for this.
Yeah. And I think where he's playing, it is allowing him to play in attacking positions. I think you move him into an 8 role, and initially you might see that he doesn't get forward as much, right? Because the position he's playing in, Martin, I'm going to read the super chat in a minute, mate. I'd keep him at left back for now, but if I'm Pep looking at him this season, he's someone that I'm invested in, right?
Yeah.
He's someone that, sorry, Reeks, love Rico, but my investment, I'm withdrawing my funds on Rico. I'm switching them straight over to Nico O'Reilly. And if I'm Pep, I'm investing heavily. Do you know what? I'm withdrawing all my funds in McAtee and in Rico, and I'm putting all of my funds into Nico O'Reilly being an absolute star for this club. Absolute star. And I think you're spot on in an 8 role. Box to box.
I think he's intelligent as well. We can see that.
Is this true? Has he signed it?
Yeah.
Because I heard there was a new deal coming.
Yeah.
Mint. I honestly, and what it is watching it. And do you know what? I feel like I'm getting more sold on fucking O'Reilly than than I was early days on Foden.
Yeah.
Because I'm just, every game I'm seeing something different about the kid. I'm just thinking he could really, 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 really be something. Right, let's get to Martin's super chat. Do you know what? I shouldn't read it spelling my name wrong. Dapper, D-A-P-A. To be honest, Dapper, wages, or maybe actually, no, he went to put Daps. So people that don't know, I'm called Daps because I used to be a DJ and my DJ name was Dapper. So that's what threw me there. Right, to be honest, Daps, wages, personal terms are normally done before fee. Done through agents, etc. They see if players interested first and wages etc. Then fees normally. I agree with you. I do agree with you on that, Martin. What I was more meaning is that there's an initial agreement, but then if multiple clubs are in for him, there will then be negotiations, right? That it won't be one round off. Bayern have said what they've said. City have said what they've said. They've probably looked at all of them and gone, on paper, all of them work for me, right? If it got down to do you know what, Bayern is saying, right, we will agree a fee with Bayern and we'll agree a fee with City, then there will be further negotiations. So, yeah, right. Anything else you want to talk on, young man?
Yes, I'm just saying, I saw your shirt in the local surf shop on the beach near St.
So you don't want to talk about football?
Yeah, yesterday. And
So
it was $65 for an absolute DAPS replica shirt.
Well, I think we should all get one.
Yeah.
I think we should get one for the Monday show after we win the FA Cup.
All right. We'll get a DAPS shirt for that show, and we can all enjoy it. Obviously, who's got the loudest shirt?
A Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
Hawaiian shirt party. I like it. Very good idea.
We'll do that. When we win the FA Cup, we'll do that.
Are we winning it, by the way? Tell me.
Hey?
Are we winning it?
Yes.
Yeah? Confident?
Yeah.
Are we getting Champions League football?
We have to win every game.
Every game?
Every game.
I don't think we do, you know.
I think we do. I think the other teams that keep on winning, and they do keep on winning.
I think we need to win our next 3 games, and we are guaranteed Champions League football. I don't think we need to beat Fulham away.
I'll be good because I would like to avoid playing Fulham when needing to win.
Facts, big facts. That's what I'm thinking. I think if we, and by the way, Wolves at home is a fucking difficult game on Friday.
Yeah, it is.
We've got to be on job for that.
They're playing well.
Yeah, they are. I think there's something like 7 on the bounce, isn't they? 7. They're playing really well. So that's an important game. Southampton away. Do you know what? We should win that. I'm not going to lie. It's Southampton. Look at how many points they've got. We should win that. But again, we can't go down there fucking seshed up and think we're going to fucking smash them up. We have to, again, be on job. We have to be the City, business end of the season City that we are seeing at the moment, right? That it's just getting the job done. And then a nice little win against Bournemouth at home, which will potentially now be after the FA Cup. But I think City are pushing to have it before the FA Cup. Last home game. I think if we win those 3 games, I think the league should be, Champions League play should be wrapped up before we go to Fulham. And that is how I would want it, because I don't want to be going to Fulham on the last day of the season, not only worried about the Fulham game, but also looking over our shoulder at the Newcastle I think Newcastle Chelsea. Is it Newcastle Chelsea's the last day of the season? I think it might be. There's one game last. I don't want to be having to look on my phone at other scores while we're also having to beat Fulham. Don't want to be in that position. So
no, I agree. Listen, the other teams keep on winning that, so we just got to keep doing the same.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. 100% agree. I do think we do it. Now, but even, do you know what? And even with the FA Cup, I think we have to be on our job against Crystal Palace. They gave us a tough game at the Etihad. They're going to be up for it. They showed, do you know what? And the one thing I'll say about Palace, fair play to them, is that they didn't get stage fright in the semi-final, and I thought they might. You look at Palace's recent form going into that semi-final, right? We beat them 5-2. I think Newcastle beat them, was it 5-0? I think they lost another game. No, actually, to be fair, they drew with Arsenal 2-2. So they conceded 12 goals before the FA Cup semi-final in their 3 games before the FA Cup semi-final. Rocked up to the semi-final against an Aston Villa team that you know, until recently, everyone was waxing lyrical about their form and fucking beat them 3-0, right? No stage fright whatsoever. So we cannot be taking Crystal Palace for no Mickey Mouse. We can't. We have to go in there and proper do a job on them. Right. On that note, though, got anything planned? You go in bed now?
No, I've come on the Mancunian way now.
Oh, of course you are.
Yeah, I'm on the Mancunian way now. It's all the Aussies together. So I'll look forward to speaking to them and have a chat.
And unfortunately, I can't, I said this to Alan earlier, Pat, I've just seen your message. I'll respond to it afterwards. I can't redirect over because I've already agreed. I'm redirecting over to Cass's channel. So people, if you want to hear about Manchester City, Mancunian way, Pat, Alan, Nick,
Richard.
Is he Aussie as well?
No, Rich is English. Is English from originally from Didsbury. Well,
Right.
born in Wales.
Where my dad's from. My dad's from Didsbury.
He was born in Wales and lived in Didsbury, then emigrated with his whole family to Sydney. So,
Okay. Well, if he's from Wales, I thought he might have gone to New Zealand for obvious reasons.
yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah.
And anyone, please, Mancunian way. I believe is that 11:45.
Yeah.
That's on at 11:45. So
No, it's on now.
Right, it's on now. So please stay where you are. Go over to Cass's channel, smash a like, give him some shit, give them some shit. Tell them that if we don't get Wirtz, we're coming for Turkey, right? And then head over to Mancunian way afterwards. Anyway, we are out, and I will be back at 5 p.m. tonight with...
It's 11:20 start. It's just past us text me.
Perfect. So 10 minutes time. Perfect. Yeah. And peace, everyone.
See you now.
Burger.